is breathing. So it's a question of temperature. If you don't burn but heat, there is a significant decrease in the presence of this carcinogen. So this is the basis of harm reduction that I'm going to show you. Now, a question can be raised immediately. Should we eliminate nicotine? Well, let me be very clear. We all in the world know and can state that nicotine is the chemical that makes cigarettes addictive, but is not responsible for the harmful effect of smoking. The best proof of that, evidence, is that's 40 years we are giving to our patients patches, gums, sprays of nicotine, because we know this does not give cancer. Nicotine is addictive. People are smoking because they want nicotine, but they die because they got to smoke. So the idea is, can we give them some nicotine without the carcinogens? So again, these are the WHO brochure about the carcinogens in tobacco smoke, and as you can see, nicotine is not among them. So again, the best option is to quit. Okay. The problem is it is not that easy. If you take that study, for instance, it shows that 64% of the cancer patients having lung cancer, they are going to start chemo, radiation, surgery, they are going to die, most of them. They will continue to smoke until the end of their life. They know it is because they smoke that they have cancer. They know that this is bad for them, bad behavior, but they will continue because it's so addictive. Nicotine is so addictive, and not only nicotine, but the fact to smoke, to have a cigarette in your mouth, is so addictive that people will continue even though they know it's very, very bad. This is the worst scenario, as the previous speaker said, and even that they continue to smoke. So now, what is harm reduction? People think it's a new concept. Not at all. It started in the United Kingdom in the early 80s. At the time, Margaret Thatcher was the Prime Minister, and it was the rise of the HIV epidemic, the AIDS. And most of the people using IV drugs were dying from HIV and hepatitis. So they tried to convince drug users to stop getting heroin and morphine, but they continue, although they know it's bad for their health. So for the first time, the concept of harm reduction was to say, okay, we let them get their drug, but we are going to give clean needles and clean syringes so that they will continue to do the bad behavior, but they will not suffer from the consequences. And because of that, this resulted in the lowest rates of HIV drug users in the world. So this is the demonstration it can work. The opposite demonstration is that during the past 12 years, they changed completely their policy toward abstinence only. So no, we don't care, we don't want you to use IV drug. What happened? Drug-related fatalities have doubled since 2011, and 1 in 3 drug-related deaths in Europe, in all Europe, is in the UK, which is just a small part of the population of Europe. So the concept of harm reduction is to say we have to accept that some level of our bad behaviors are inevitable. Therefore, try to target to minimize the harms people will suffer as a consequence, not the behavior. So for instance, we know that in driving cars, when people are driving cars, there are people dying from car accident. So we could say no car anymore. No, we say, okay, you continue to drive, but the innovation science will provide us with seat belts, airbag, disc brakes, and everything, so that people will continue to drive, people will continue to have accidents, but we'll have less people dying from these accidents. And it is true for unhealthy diets, tanning, and every bad behavior we have. What about smoking? Can science and innovation bring change for smoking too? So these changes, this innovation, are being called for years by the US FDA, by Public Health England in England, by the authorities in health authorities in Australia. Everybody is looking for tools that will help people to quit smoking, or for helping people that continue to smoke to get less cancer. So one of these innovations I'm showing you today is heated tobacco product. So this is a filter that has been put into a smoking machine. On the left part with a combustible cigarette, classical. On the right part with this heat not burn device. What you can see, and forget the filter, just think this is the lungs. This is the lungs of your patient. In the left part, you get 6,000 chemicals, you get the ultrafine particles, and you get the 80 carcinogen. In the other one, with the tobacco heating system, you can see that it's almost white. Be careful, I'm not saying this is risk-free. It is a reduced risk product. So the conclusion, and this is the moment I accepted to work with this company, is when the US FDA in July 20 launched the report. They did, we're not talking about PMI, Philip Morris studies, we are talking about, as you can see in the lowest part, right side of the slide, this has been done by the US FDA in their own facilities. And what they say is indeed, there is no combustion in this device. And that this device will emit reduced level of toxicant than cigarettes. If you can see that if cigarettes is 100%, I put here some of the carcinogen, you can see that the decrease is going to be between